We just wanted to kind of share the news with you that Synchrony Hyderabad has been rated as the 23rd best company to work for in India by the Great Places to Work Institute, which is one of the most well accredited bodies in the world that certifies workplaces. I also want to share with you globally we were rated 44 by the same institute, Great Places to Work and Fortune. So we feel absolutely delighted about this overall ranking. We have a very much open door policy where we encourage employees to kind of not only talk to their managers but also to talk to their leaders. And the conversations are not generally about just coming and saying this is not good or this is not good. The conversations are also talking about how can I develop as an individual, what are the opportunities that the company provides. So these small touch points that we have with our employees are very important to distinguish us and make us a great workplace. And we do it regularly, and we do it with a lot of interesting institutions that we create. So one of the most interesting things that we do in this organization is we have a specially dedicated coffee room, and we invite one family every day to Synchrony, and they kind of have a coffee conversation with one of the Synchrony leaders, either a vice president or a senior vice president. What that does is it just helps the family members also understand about the company. And sometimes the employee kind of says something about the company, the family members kind of say no, it can't be because we visited and it is such a beautiful place. So that whole family concept becomes very important. And they also get the touch and feel of the company. A lot of our women employees feel very nice when they come with their family members and talk to us. So that's one very unique program around how we care for our employees and go to the extent of every detail. But a couple of other things that I just want to highlight to you as to what makes a great workplace is you have to give people good career opportunities. It's a competitive world. It's not that everybody is going to kind of get an opportunity and become a manager or a AVP or a VP. But nevertheless, in Synchrony, opportunities are open for everybody. It is not that you join in a non-managerial capacity and remain a non-manager for the rest of your life. Technically, in Synchrony, if you do really well in 18 months from being a call taker or a person who's doing a back office processing or a person who's doing analysis can actually become a manager based on the process that kind of happens. Everybody doesn't become a manager in 18 months, but the best people do become managers. And interestingly, every 3 out of 4 managers that we have in Hyderabad, you actually used to be associates once, call takers or back office folks or folks who were doing basic analysis. So that is very important as you give career opportunities to people. One other thing that makes our company stand out is this whole concept of empathy. I don't know, I didn't have an opportunity to talk to you earlier, but sometime in first quarter of this year, we were recognized in an event presided over by the President of India for being the best company in India for women employment. And this honor came to us from FICCI, which is the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the women wing of FICCI, which is FICCI Flow. And the reason we were recognized by that particular organization in a function presided over by the President was because this is a very unique organization. We have 42% women in Synchrony Hyderabad, which not many organizations in India can talk of. And 27% of our leadership is women, which is again very unique, because in a lot of organizations you will find women, but you will not find women in leadership positions. I'm sure you must be aware that the government of India is also trying to encourage companies to get women on the board. So the Synchrony India board also has a woman on its board. The Synchrony India Gratuity board has a woman. So that way our focus on women is very intense. And the reason women like to work in Synchrony, I mean, is a very simple word. They say they feel they have this psychological safety in the organization. They feel very secure with the transport system they have. They feel very secure with the overall culture and the environment that is prevalent in the organization. And that's what kind of makes them come to Synchrony and stick with Synchrony. Over and above that, we have all the good policies that encourage women employment around maternity and all those other things that are quite important from a woman perspective. The other aspect that builds a lot of empathy for Synchrony is we have about 145 people with disability, and we've talked extensively about that. Broadly, we have been increasing that number. The number used to be close to about 53 years back. So technically, every year we've been adding at least 50 people with disability. And that 50 people every year. So this year the number is about 145 people with disability in the site right now. So that's very interesting. But what's more interesting about these people with disability is that we don't treat them as unique individuals. We treat them as a part of the organization. So the most beautiful picture that's in my mind is when we had a town hall recently. You will actually see one of the people who is disabled on a wheelchair, he's dancing, and 20 people are dancing around him. You see, so you don't try to make them different, you actually try to make them and integrate them in the overall culture. Most recently, we also had a very nice dance performance where every employee was invited to come and show their talent. There was one team that actually had people who could not hear, and they also danced with people who are actually able to hear. So you see, you have to integrate the folks in the culture, and I think we do a good job with that as well. And finally, the other thought that comes into my mind is that as an organization, we also believe in providing good training and development opportunities. So we have various programs called Leaf and Tail, where not only do we help employees become very good at their existing work. So if you are in the analytics function, we teach you some very good analytical skills. If you are in the IT function, we teach you IT skills. If you are in the call center function, we teach you those skills so that you can do your job better. But we also train people to become better leaders, and that's really very important because that helps people develop their personality, develop themselves as individuals, and that's another aspect that makes us a great place to work. So all in all, I think a combination of having a great touch point with the employees, where you are going out there and kind of taking care of them, having the ability to create great opportunities, and also having the ability to provide world-class training is our magical formula of why we think we've kind of come in 23. I just want to also highlight, this is really our debut. This organization has been in India for about 14 years. I mean, great places to work. Synchrony has been here for 19 years, and this is the first time really we chose to go for a certification and a ranking. And I'm absolutely delighted that in our very first attempt we've got a rank of 23.